LOP in the building. My life been a movie, I should've filmed it. Nicely with the pen game. Pops taught me the spit game. Get your cameras ready, we heavy catch when I'm in frame. Produk, opinionated, but I'm coming through smooth with it. I be kicking facts, you could Google it. From the block to the booth, hear the truth, just another lane lot. I'm a Crown Heights legend, still repping the same block. Whoa.
You are now listening to the Life of Produk podcast.
Yeah, what up, man? It's the boy Produk. You are now locked into the Life of Produk podcast. This is episode 30. Shouts out to everybody that rocked with me for episode 29. Episode 29 was titled Motivation Rio. And I keep telling y'all, every week another show drops. The listenership and the viewership is growing. And also, shouts out to Anchor for the distribution and for the sponsorship. Today's episode 30. Today's titled Two Cousins. I got my cousin Damien on the line with me. What's good, brother?
What's good, man? What's good?
Been a long time. Chilling, man. Yo, listen, I haven't been back up north in almost a year. What's the vibes like back home right now with the whole pandemic and stuff?
Pandemic, what? Like, I mean, it's outside is opening up, man. It's like
Facts.
It's starting to get it's sundress season right now. Ladies looking lovely out there.
Word.
I've been trying to get back out. Like I haven't done too much, but I look like all the activities I like doing. Like comedy clubs starting to open.
Yeah.
The movies are starting to open. I actually went to the movies a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
So yeah, man, it's happening. Like like outside is opening up. Like the pandemic is like it's going away. It is.
So listen, when I come back, we got to do some hangover shit like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna kidnap a monkey. We might kidnap a crackhead, but I'm not touching monkeys. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, strip clubs are opening too, man. Like
listen, you already know, man.
Yeah, they open.
I'm with the shit.
Like they open.
I'm definitely with the shit. I'm glad like everything is starting to open up. Even though I'm still afraid, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When it comes to this pandemic, I'm a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a soft dude, but I still mask up. So I mask up. I'm overdosing on vitamins. I'm on CMOS, fucking vitamin C. I'm on everything. But I'm ready. I'm ready to get back to normal life. Like I feel like we've been grounded in shit for like a year and a half.
Yeah, you know that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah, and I like traveling a lot. This is kind of like what the fuck. Like if I could count on one hand how many times I traveled within like the last 12 to 18 months, and that's fucking bad. I mean, I'm not living how I want to live. You know what I'm saying? But I'm actually happy that things are starting to open up because you know like the mental health aspect of this shit really fucked with a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you feel just like sitting in a house all that time? Did it ever bother you?
It did. It got to me. The thing is, it wasn't. I didn't have a breakdown, but it got to me early on, and I'm glad it got it out of my system early on because it was for me working from home. I hated it. All my coworkers loved it. Everybody, I hated it. I just didn't. It was just like nowhere to go. I felt like mentally, it felt like I had no purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just getting up, cutting on a laptop every day. Gyms were closed. I had no reason to like get up and like get dressed and nothing like that. You in a t-shirt and underwear like all day. It's like it was nothing like no mobility. So mentally it messed me up. It did.
You know what? You're the first person that actually said that to me that said they felt like they had no purpose.
Yeah.
I've never heard nobody put it like, and that's quite interesting to me. And I can honestly understand that because for me, I still had to be an essential worker, but I wasn't working as much. It was like, I'm working this week. I'm in the house this week. I'm in the house this week. I'm working this week. It was weird as hell to me. And the weeks I was in the house, I kind of was like, damn, what do I do with myself? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a big TV person like I used to be. So I was in a crib being creative. That honestly got me through my shit when it came to this whole pandemic. But everybody's not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of us need to be out. We need to be interacting, and we need the sun. We need people. We need light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with all of this shit, and then airlines are building back up. I'm hearing that the whole international travel was picking back up a lot more than recently because there was restrictions and things like that. So I'm happy, man. I'm ready to get this shit popping, doggy. I'm ready to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Like I got a trip booked to DR for my birthday.
Nice.
Next month. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. I already got mentally. I got my outfits picked out already.
But that's how you got to do it, though. Listen, if women could do it, we can do that shit too. You already know what the fresh factor got to be. You know what I'm saying? For real. I want to let the people out there know. Not only is Damien my cousin, me and Damien used to co-own an independent magazine out of Brooklyn, New York called Talent Only Magazine, and that was a very lit fucking era.
Yeah.
Very lit fucking era. Not only was he the co-owner, he was also the co-writer, and we was really getting it in. Man, I'm not gonna front you. I really miss those days.
Yeah, man, I miss writing on the regular too. Like,
Yeah.
it was something that felt like good. Like when you had something to say about
Yeah.
all the pop culture, music, movies, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yo, you know what I feel like? I feel like a lot of people wanted to be our friends that would not have fucked with us if we was regular. Can I say that? Can I finally keep it real? Because we was getting a lot of people being extra friendly to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, that's what it is. Everybody, I guess when you like the it crowd and you know everybody's like pretty much gravitating towards you, other people want to be within that. They want to absorb that type of energy and shit like that. But that was a great era. Yo, my favorite issue was the one with Gary E. Stewart on the cover. You know what I'm saying?
That probably that wasn't. I mean, I would say that too. I think that was probably our best because by the time we've been doing it for a while, so like that we put a lot into it. So it's not only just that was my favorite issue, also, but just the time we spent into that issue, the things we did around it, the photo shoots, the interviews, the hangouts, the meetup, like everything around that time for that issue was just so. It was a blast. Like I would love to like hop in a time machine and go back and relive that couple of weeks or months that we spent on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, it was crazy because I think the Steve Lobel issue was great. And for those of y'all who don't know Steve, Steve Lobel is a very big entity in the music and entertainment industry. Steve Lobel was one of the people that helped put Nipsey Hussle on and helped bring him from independent to his beginning stages from when everybody started learning about it. Steve Lobel along with Big U and his team. And I believe we had Steve Lobel on the front cover of the second issue, and that was big.
Yeah, it was.
And and I can't leave Toya out. Shouts out to our other cousin Toya that was there for the earlier days. And for that issue, shouts out to my boy Chris that did the photo shoot for that. But Chris also did the Gary photo shoot as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was it. So I remember that.
And that was a dope issue. You wasn't there with me and Chris when we did the photo shoot in Dumbo and shit, because I think you were a little tied up that day, but we were downtown. We were in Double. We did shots on multiple locations, and the dope shit is fucking Gary. Gary's a homie. The thing about Gary, you never know what you're gonna get with Gary. You never know.
Yeah.
Gary hit me up early that day and said, yo, talent. He never calls me Produk. Yo, talent. I'm like, yo, what up? He's like, yo. He was like, yo, son, I'm pulling up with Rihanna's grandfather. I said, and I'm on Atlantic Avenue looking at my phone like, yo, he just said he's pulling up with Rihanna's grandfather. I think I had Chris in the car with me at that point. I can't remember. And the ill shit about Chris is the homie. Chris was in Orlando and fucking flew in for the day to do that shoot. So shouts out to Chris. I'm on Atlantic Avenue and I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, you're bringing who? He was like, yo, I'm bringing Rihanna's grandfather. I'm like, you're bringing Rihanna's grandfather. I think I had Chris in the car with me. We go park in a parking deck and shit right around the corner from that pizza shop. And what street is that? I can't remember. That little ass street and shit.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I used to know the name. I forgot it. I haven't been in Dumbo in a minute, but I forgot.
Very interesting day because walking from the car, I walked right past Heather Hunter, the ex porn star that does.
Oh yeah, she lived down there. Yeah.
Me and Chris is like, yo, is that Heather Hunter? Oh shit, this is gonna be an interesting fucking day. So we the part of Dumbo where everybody sits right there and they have, you can see the bridge and shit.
Yeah, where everybody takes the photos. And everything. Yeah,
we get right there. It's hot as fuck outside. We see Gary. He's standing with Rihanna's grandfather. And we're looking like, oh shit, this is really Rihanna's grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Very cool, old school, down to earth Bayesian man. Very cool and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, it's great. It's hot as fuck outside, but Gary does it big. Gary had his assistant. He was out there with the bins. We popped the trunk. He got like 20 fucking outfits and suits and shit.
I remember you telling me about it. Yeah.
For the photo shoot. Then we segue over towards the part where they do like all the wedding shoots. And Gary had I think he had like a maroon colored velour suit, and he pops the jacket off and showed the dragon tattoo. And that's when I said to myself, yeah, we fucking made it now with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was my favorite issue of the magazine. And that issue had Tiffany in it as well. And shit. And that was dope, man. But that was a dope era. Like if we could go back on a 1 week's vacation back in time, I'm so with it. I'm gonna say
definitely.
It was great. It was really and honestly, me, I think as a businessman and as a writer, it helped push my narrative, and I think it made me better. And I can honestly say that shit about that. But I do feel like a lot of people was being extra nice to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people. I remember that. Like it was that people were. I would be on Instagram and I would get DMs because like when we did the photo shoots, I would just be there and
Yeah.
taking pics from my phone.
Yeah.
For the behind the scenes, and I would post them. I started getting DMs from models like saying, "Oh, what is your rate? How much do you charge?" Like,
wow.
I remember this DJ, this German DJ. She hit me up. She was like staying in New York, like at the W Hotel, in the financial district, and she DM'd me one day while I'm at work, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry." Like, I had to keep, like, I kept like saying, like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not a photographer. Just like these just from my iPhone." Like, I mean, if I was a different type of dude, I really could have milked that.
Facts.
Other shit.
Son, I would have let you hold the camera just so you could have. I'm playing. Am I? I don't know. But but that's crazy though, right? But you see how like, and I was telling people for a long time, like people, they were really watching what we were doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people overall wanted us to win. I feel like more people wanted us to win with the magazine than they did want us to lose. Like I feel like there was more winning energy than hating energy surrounded around that.
Yeah, it was a lot of love there.
Definitely. Yo, I remember we did something called, I think it was the hottest hip hop lines.
Yeah, I remember that.
You won that shit because you pulled out the Fab shit where he was like, "Kings don't speak English; they speak Kinglish." I was like, "Oh, he got me."
From oh god, now I'm forgetting.
They're going for the winners.
That was from the that
was dope.
I mean, Fab is like Fab does not get the credit he deserves.
He really doesn't, man.
From the masses. Like I feel like his peers give him the credit, but I feel like as the masses don't give him the credit as being one of the greatest. Like
I totally agree.
He's definitely one of the greatest lyricists to ever do it.
I totally agree. And my thing is, you would have thought with him being on more of the commercial wave back in the early 2000s, it would have solidified that. But you know what? That brings me back to what I'm saying. People hate on greatness. You know what I'm saying? They hate on greatness. They fucking hate on greatness. And why, I don't know. But it's been, I mean, come on, they hated on Jesus Christ. It's been like that since the dawn of time. You know what I'm saying? You just can't, and especially in hip hop. Like, I feel like hip hop is the only genre of music where your greatness factor is gonna possibly come with a ceiling to it. Because I've never seen that shit in R&B. I've never seen it in rock. Maybe it is, but I ain't never seen it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. How do you feel about that? Because I think our people be on some bullshit.
I think, people, like I heard someone a couple of months ago, they said, I don't know if I'm quoting word for word, but they said, as quickly as they deify you, they will demonize you.
Wow. That's dope.
And that's deep. Just, I think there's always, I think when it comes to celebrities, people look at celebrities as like, they look at them as gods. They don't look at them as human beings.
Yeah.
So you worship them. And then when you find out, when something happens, whatever it is, and you see that, oh no, they're human, you tear them down. It's like, oh, you're quick to hate on them, you're quick to jump all over them. It's like, I don't know what it is in us humans that makes us do that, but it is definitely something in us that where we will just that wickedness, that hatred, that just the envy.
Yes.
It's just there. It's there, and sometimes it's a shame too. But
and I feel like social media made that shit worse because, like you said, hate and envy. A person could be winning, but people don't want them to win more than them, or they only want them to win so much, or they'll see them winning, and they'll be thumbing through their gram and let them get a new car. Oh, they want too much. Fuck that. I'm gonna report that. You know what I'm saying? and it's like I was reading something about the Chrissy Teigen girl. A lot of people, John Legend wife, a lot of people are coming down on her because she slid in some girl DM and was like, "I hope you kill yourself." She was like, they called it bullying or whatever. I'm not going against it. I'm not taking her side, but I don't know how it started. But my thing is like, damn, I just really loved her a year ago. You know what I'm saying? And I think she's losing endorsement deals now or some shit like that. But people are full of shit because the same people that's mad at her done worse shit than that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I did worse shit. But because y'all quote unquote found out she was about that life, but my thing is, we don't all talk shit to somebody before. You know what I'm saying? You know how many fuck your mothers I done heard about life. So it's like, yo, like, okay, I get it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I get it. That was kind of harsh telling her to go kill herself. But and I'm not taking up for her at all. I'm totally neutral. So anybody listening, please don't sit here and be like, oh, you want somebody to kill. No, I don't want nobody to kill themselves. Suicide is serious. But at the end of the day, like we're all grown. Like, why can't you just let this adult fight for themselves? You know, that's my only issue. Okay, I get it. What she said was kind of fucked up, even though I don't know why she said it. But I mean, what the fuck? At a certain point, as an adult, you gotta let your nuts hang. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're all gonna have those moments. I feel like though, for me, Chrissy Teigen, because she's so popular and she's always on social media. Like she has like heck of a personality.
Yeah.
I feel like in this era, she should have known better. Meaning she should have known that you're Chrissy Teigen. You're not just some chick off the block. You're Chrissy Teigen. You're going in some woman's DMs. You should have known that woman in today's day where social media is powerful and it empowers people.
Yeah.
That woman is going to show people those DMs.
Yes.
Like you can't just do that and just, it'd be different if you ran up on the street, then you could deny it later. But it's in writing. It's in the cloud, as they say. Like it's put it out there. And it's like, right? you can't walk away from that. Like she should have been smarter than that though. She definitely should have been smarter. I also
feel like I agree with you on that. But not to play devil advocate, I feel like people be on some bitch shit whenever they screenshotting DMs and you putting it out there for the public.
Oh, people are real hypersensitive nowadays. Like I'm tired of that too. Yeah. The hypersensitive thing is like it's a bit much nowadays. Yeah.
Yo, it's so bad, right? People are okay. You wasn't with me, right? So me and TJ, okay, I got booked to headline a show at Brooklyn Nights years ago, right? So boom, it was me, I knew a few other artists there. I knew one of the promoters. I had actually hooked up Toya Cousin and I got him to be able to perform in it because they were charging other artists. They didn't charge him. So he was there performing. I met a cat from South Jersey or whatever. I met dude once. So my homeboy that was the promoter at the time was a mutual friend between both of us. Now, this is how hypersensitive motherfuckers is. This is weird as hell. So he was like, yo, this is my boy. I ain't gonna say his son name because he's a bum. He's like, yo, it's my boy. Y'all keep in your contact. Maybe I could do a song one day or whatever. So son kept hitting me up online, whatever. So I gave him my number. I was like, yo, hit me up sometime. But as you know me, I'm a busy dude, son. And we're family and you know I'm busy. I'm not like a hands-on person that's gonna always physically be there and be able to link with everybody. So between the magazine at the time, music, actually working the job, I was busy. So I never got a chance to really work with son. Son hit me up. Then I'm gonna show the story. Son hit me up a couple months later. He got stuck at fucking Port Authority because shit, he was fucking with a girl in Brooklyn. He got stuck in Port Authority and had no money to get home. So he hit me up and was like, yo, Slum, I need like $20 for a bus ticket, $25. I said, yo, I got you, bro. He's like, yo, I'm gonna give it back to you on Friday when I get paid. Never got the money back. I never even asked for it. You know what I'm saying? So son had hit me up a few times to do a song. I never got around to doing a song with him. Got so mad and hypersensitive, goes on Facebook and like my comments and just totally cursed me out. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't do a song with him. And then goes, and you could fucking block me. And then he blocked me. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, all right, well, bet I'll block you back. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But people are so fucking hypersensitive.
And this is, this is before, like, this might have been talking about almost 10 years ago.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And like, it's worse now. Like, it's much worse now.
Oh, yeah. It's like right now, I feel like whatever was at 10 years ago, it's 20, 30 times that now. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, I've literally seen people get mad because a person won't follow them back or like their shit. Like, yo, dog, like, there was a whole real life outside of social media. And I really want people like listening to understand that. And I think the pandemic made it worse because half of America was stuck in the house. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So all they had was social media. That's it. That's all. That was like their only outlet to like quote unquote the real world, but the world wasn't real because damn it, everybody was in the house doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's made relationships worse too. Way fucking worse. Like you'll have a person, and I'm speaking from experience because I was in a relationship years ago, and all she would do was go through all of my posts to see who's liking it. Why did this girl like all of these? What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Yo, all I did was click upload. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's weird, man. But I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it's happened to me before.
There was one time I remember years ago. It was, I think this might have been I don't want to say, maybe 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It was my second Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I went to it was the second time. The first time I went the year before, I was like just real kind of like kept to myself, just walking around observing. The second time I was more interactive and like, took pictures with people and just like interacted with the crowd a little more. So that year I was actually dating a girl that was like off and on. We were off and on for years, known each other since we were like damn near teenagers. But we were like together, right?
Yeah.
And she was a big like, constantly, this is back when Instagram had the feature of where you could look at what somebody you follow
I'm
liked.
so
And
glad
it was always,
they got rid of that shit.
So, and even so, but this time, so I'm at Comic-Con, and one of the popular characters, the people that dress up as there was Harley Quinn, Joker's girlfriend. All the girls dressed up like Harley Quinn. So I come across this one young lady who she looked exactly like the video game version of Harley Quinn from the Batman Arkham games. And I saw her, I was like, I gotta get a picture with her. Got to. Walked up to her, asked for a picture. She was cool. Like a couple of friends she was with took the phone, like he was took the picture. And I basically had my arm around her, like around her waist, and like she was like laughing because it was something my friends were saying something. There was a couple of pics, but the one I ended up posting was she had her hand on my chest laughing. Yeah. And it was like she had the latex like leather outfit with the pants, and the top was like a sports bra type thing in the Harley Quinn colors. And she had some nice cleavage, slim girl with a very nice figure, I must say.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
And so, I posted it, and then I remember you liked it and you commented something. And then I looked at it later, and my girl commented under. She did the eyes emoji, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like, so I was like, So I had to hear about that for quite some time. But that was like the only situation I was in like that.
It's crazy because I think we all have like a different perspective on social media. Everybody's perspective on social media is different. And I was in a relationship years ago where if I liked the pic, she would say, "Why are you hearting pics?" And I said, "Who the fuck says hearting? Like, is that even like a term?" I said, "All I did was click a like button." I said, "When you go to your notifications, does it say I just hearted your pic?" I said, "What did it say?" She said, "Oh, such and such liked your pic." I said, "All right then. So why are you saying hearting? Like, I'm not like you." I think too, what a lot of people, maybe particularly women, like to the women listening, don't take this the wrong way, but I think a lot of women are so used to double tapping it and seeing a heart as opposed to liking the heart. I think mentally it puts them in a different zone when it comes to them seeing their man liking pics. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, like I said on one of the past episodes, perspective is a motherfucker. Like we all see things different, but I honestly feel like our outlook on social media varies and it shapes a lot of this sensitivity and how motherfuckers feel nowadays in 2021 because people emotions are all over the place. All over the place. You know what I mean? But just to slide away from that and talk back about the writing, I believe, didn't you go to school for writing at one point?
I did. I got my associates in journalism and print media. Yeah.
And I think that's dope. And my thing is, I think having a background, some type of collegiate background in writing, if you're going to quote unquote be a writer, is very important. Now, not everybody needs it, but I think it's important. And I think that actually pushes your skill level and your narrative a little more. Even though writing is somewhat of a natural talent, I feel like getting, the foundation of it is important. But I feel like in the Black community, we always value hustling and getting somewhere without going to college, like a little too much, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think this wild. But so you went to school for writing. There's a lot of independent writers out here right now. You got blog sites, social media postings, things like that. But I don't feel like all that shit come from a genuine place. I feel like a lot of them are just trolls and haters. You know what I'm saying? What you feel about that?
Like you said, I think social media plays a role in that, where everybody has their own show now. Like I mean figuratively, where it's your social media account, you just can go off and do or say whatever. I mean, it's good in the sense that where it gives anybody can have a voice now. Yes. Anybody can project that voice outward to the masses, however they choose.
Yeah.
But I do think a lot of times people, it's not really like, I don't think they're really, maybe they wouldn't consider themselves writers or journalists. They're like the blogger thing where just people tend to kind of go off and, you know, they do the gossip stuff and all the juicy celebrity news and who's dating who broke up with who. And it's like, I've never found that stuff interesting.
Yeah,
like a lot of stuff like that I don't think is that, like, it doesn't, I don't find it compelling. I think it's just corny to me. Like, I don't care who so and so's date. Like, everybody, they always are so glued to these relationships with these celebrities. And it's like, these celebrities, not just, people get on the female celebrities a lot. And I think it's unfair. All celebrities, men and women, they change partners like they change underwear and socks. Like, these people you with this person one day, and then it's like a month later you're with somebody else, and it's like everybody's like, oh, they broke up, and it's like it's not. It's never anything like they're trying to build. It's like I honestly think, and to shoot, I guess, sort of shoot the celebrity some bail, I think they're just, a lot of them are just having fun. I think especially when you're super successful and you're touring a lot and you're working a lot, you don't really have time to settle down, and you don't even want that. Like, so you might have a partner that you're with, and where it's really might just be to them casual, where we might see them, arm in arm at restaurants and all these different red carpet events and all this stuff and shopping. But to them, they're just having fun. They may not even be in love. They might just be like, oh, I'm with this person. I enjoy their company. I'm happy for the moment. Yeah. But to them, they may know that, oh, this ain't going to last.
And you're actually right. And I think it's crazy because I think the people on the outside, from especially the bloggers to the fans, I feel like they're trying to vicariously live through these celebrities. You know what I'm saying? And the shit is quite unhealthy. It's kind of unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've turned down, I've had like bloggers that are actually kind of known reach out to me to be interviewed, or for me to do interviews with them, and I turn that shit down. And I respectfully turned it down. But me, I don't fuck with that shit, because I feel like you might want to ride my wave today, and then you might be talking shit about me a year from now. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of me. I'm a firm believer that I don't like putting myself in certain situations or building relationships with people I don't really see me fucking with a year or two from now. You know what I'm saying? And I understand business is business. I totally get it. Excuse me. I totally get it. But a lot of these people, like, a lot of these motherfuckers, it's herbs, son. Yes, I brought the word herbs back out of retirement.
I haven't heard herbs in a while.
I feel like if you're a grown man, you're a whole herb if you just sitting back, you never show your face, you hide behind a stage, a social media stage name, and you're just talking all kind of shit. Especially if you're a dude and you're blogging every fucking day about what women are doing with their vagina. You know what I'm saying? Because, excuse my mouth, I try not to use the N-word on the show, but us real niggas don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? We don't. So to me, painting that picture just shows like you are not in this, either you're not in a space where you need to be physically, or you're emotionally not in a space where you need to be. Real talk. And a lot of, like, I've met a few people from websites that was like popped at the time. And when you see these dudes, it's like, yo, this is who the fuck owns this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I can't remember what website it was. And I met this dude in Queens at an event. And at the time the website was blowing up, son was like 5'2", son. And I'm not the tallest dude in the world, but I'm average height. But son was like 5'2", and he was like, yeah, my shit gonna be bigger than this. It's gonna be big. And I'm looking like, fam, like, first of all, grow the fuck up, literally. And then come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember going on his site, looking at some of the shit he's posting. I was like, look at this. Fuck. It's a lot of it is what is it called? Clickbait. A lot of clickbait shit.
Oh yeah.
A lot of clickbait shit. But I feel like us people that have a sense of realism, if we have that factor, we see right through that bullshit. We don't really get caught up in that. It might be great entertainment. You know, we'll amongst each other, we're going to group chat, we'll laugh about it. It's funny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we'll laugh all day about it, but I'm not gonna become like engulfed to where it's hurting my feelings. Like, it's not gonna affect my day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all fun and games to me. Like, I don't like that people take it. I mean, I get, everybody is, they're in their own world, and they have their own mental space, and their mental space is affected differently. Yeah. But I just feel like it's, don't, like, it's just, I'm tired of seeing people, like Jay said, visibly shook of the invisible bully.
Yes.
Like, you have, I don't think I was having this conversation the other day with someone about cyberbullying, where I feel like I don't want to acknowledge that it's real because you can just sign off, you can just ignore, you can just block. You don't have to pay attention. It's not like back in the day when the kid, when the nerd in school was constantly physically picked on by people bigger than him and just traumatized. Like, this is not that.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like, this
really
is,
not.
like, you're gonna have to let it go and put yourself in a mental space where this doesn't bother you. Where you're just like, I don't care about any of that. It doesn't affect me. This is just somebody I don't know who doesn't know me. That they don't care about me and I don't care about them. Like, just, you know, pay it no mind.
Yes, and thank you for saying that shit, because the fucking internet comes with an off button. It comes with an off switch.
Yeah, exactly.
You could literally go turn your comments off, or you could turn it off. You can say, I'm gonna come back X, Y, Z. I was running promo on a video I had did, and the video got up to like 30,000 views. And then a lot of random people was just jumping in it and talking shit, which I was like, you know what? I experienced that when I put 2 dope ass videos on World Star. People are gonna do that. I don't care. But with it being on YouTube and me having more control over it, I had a dude try to jump on it, and it was a little overkill the way I went on him. It was bad. Like, he ended up like blocking me, deleting all the comments I had put on this, because it was like, all right, I'm a talk shit for talk shit type of person. So every time you say something, if you trigger me that day and I got time, I'm gonna just go for it. And I kind of like I could tell I hurt the dude's feelings, which to this day I'm glad I did. Look, he started it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, come on, man. Like, I talk shit professionally, dog. You gotta really be ready for this shit if you're gonna go at it. I don't care if you 7'5", you could be Yao Ming height. If you want to talk shit, we gonna listen, man. It's want to take off. But you know what I'm saying? But a lot of these dudes be suckers. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you could just walk up the block and stuff me. They're literally hiding behind an electronic device. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, like, come on, fam. And I'm really not the dude that you want to run up on in the street, because you know, son, I'm down south now. I got the bong. Like, you don't want to do that. I'm registered. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. But you know what? I wanted to ask you this, right? Now, don't laugh at me, right? Don't laugh at me for saying this. But when the Knicks made it to the playoffs, did you get a little hyped about that shit? Just a little bit?
To be honest, no. I wish I did get hyped, but I didn't.
Wow.
I witnessed all the fans, like diehard Knicks fans, hype. But I guess it's probably because I'm not a diehard Knicks fan. I haven't been a Knicks fan, so to speak, until the 90s Patrick Ewing, John Stark Knicks.
Yeah.
Like, so I honestly could say it's not that I didn't care. I thought it was great for the city to have not one but 2 teams in the playoffs.
That's kind of
even despite what happened to the Knicks, but even the fact that before that series started, a lot of people and even I had this pick too. I picked the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
and I saw other people making that same. I saw other people making that same prediction, and I thought it was a great thing for the city.
That's what I thought.
And it's still a great thing because I think they're going to come back and be good next year. And as long as they keep winning, I think it's a good thing for New York.
Yo, I thought the Knicks and the Nets was going to go to the end of the Eastern Conference Finals. You remember when the Nets first came to Brooklyn, that first game when they played the Knicks, how hard they was balling?
Yeah, I remember.
And mind you, the Knicks was kind of trash that season, but they was playing like they was in fucking Game 7. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then they're horrible the rest of it. So when the Knicks, when the Knicks went to the playoffs this season, I'm not gonna front. I was hyped, but I ain't show it though. I ain't show it. I said I'm happy, but I'm not gonna show it, because if they don't make it past round 1, at least I'm not really gonna, I'm gonna feel about it. I'm not gonna be mad and shit. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I didn't expect. I didn't expect the Lakers to lose the first round. That shit I didn't expect.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I wasn't really paying much attention until like the Suns started winning the series, because going into it, there were some people that were like, "Oh no, the Suns got this one. The Suns got this."
Yeah.
For me, I didn't think they were. But see, the thing people kept forgetting is that the Lakers barely made it in. Remember, they had to go through the play.
Yeah,
they were not good. Like, once Anthony Davis and both Anthony Davis and LeBron were hurt, they had some problems. They struggled. So Anthony Davis was never 100%, and even people were saying LeBron was probably not 100%. So
I don't think he was, because he was didn't he have like an ankle problem or something?
Yeah, his ankle was hurt. He was still hurt. Like he was hurt. He wasn't 100%.
He had to be hurt. Now, I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm not a LeBron stan. I am neutral to the people listening when it comes to LeBron. I think LeBron is a great player. I don't think he's Jordan. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he was 100%. I think if LeBron was 100%, they would have did a lot better. Definitely would have did a lot better, man. But I didn't expect them out because even though the Suns got a squad, I was like, nah, they're not losing the first round. Like if they actually came back and actually got a seat in the playoffs, I was like, I don't see that happening. But yo, to me, this playoff and last year's playoff was a little interesting. Maybe the Panthers kind of played a part on that. That whole bubble shit was crazy last year. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of crazy, man. Didn't LeBron recently, before the playoffs was over, he broke COVID protocol to go hang out?
Yeah,
but
I heard a few other people talk about this on like Twitter and other podcasters mentioning the fact that, you know, it's like, well, he's LeBron. Like, so
exactly.
LeBron was like, he said LeBron told the league, like, yeah, I was out here chilling with the celebrities. I broke protocol, but fuck it, I'm coming back to play. I ain't doing that quarantine shit. And I'm like, you know what? I get it. It's, you know what? Why not? It's LeBron. He's the face of the league. Sure.
Yeah. You know what? I have mixed feelings on it. I think if it was anybody else, it's fucked up. But they would have like did something to try to like they would have like fined him something. He would have got a fine. He would have had to sit out a game or something. But because it was LeBron, he could rock with it. Now I got mixed feelings on the whole LeBron having power in the NBA. I think it's great that a black man has this much power to pretty much dictate what he wants to do in the fucking NBA. But I don't know anybody else that plays. You know,
I feel like it's a players' league, so I think it's a great thing when to see a player hold power and influence. I think that's how it should be. I mean, yeah, the owners are the owners, commissioner is the commissioner, but we watch the players. We pay to see the players. We buy the jerseys. We buy the merchandise. Like it's about the players.
Yes,
and as it should be. I think the players should
nobody
hold.
cares about the fucking little 5'2" dude in the suit running up. And, you know, we don't care about him. We don't care nothing about
players. Should have a significant amount of power.
Definitely. Exactly. We're not buying insert the owner's name in Nikes. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I feel like it's their blood, sweat, and tears that pushes the fucking NBA.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So with all of the bullshit that happens in the league, I feel like some of the players take heat for some of the stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying? But that's a conversation nobody ever really want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to on one side of the coin, you know, to see this black man who's a player who's producing HBO TV shows, he's in Space Jam 2. To see him have that much power, I think is great, because as a black man who's he's basically an employee. He's a boss on one end of the coin, but he's an employee. You know what I'm saying? Like many of us black men who work and have a business or have businesses or whatever, I think it's great to see him be a player, but a boss also outside of it, but operate like a boss within the NBA. I think is a wonderful thing. My only main issue, LeBron. I told y'all I'm not a LeBron stan. I don't none of that. I'm not a stan. I'm not a LeBron hater. My only issue is faking like he got hit on the court and he didn't. Like, well, you know how LeBron act like he got poked in the eye and shit. He'll go, oh, he'll fall in the floor.
The overacting.
You watch the replay, he never got touched. Yes, that's my only issue with that.
A lot of people have that issue with him, though. A lot of people have that issue.
Yo, listen, look, unpopular opinion. I know people are gonna get mad at me for saying this. LeBron James A&R one of 2 Chainz's best fucking albums. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I hear. That is what I
hear. Listen, I'm not a 2 Chainz fan. 2 Chainz does his thing. His first album was actually pretty good. But that one that LeBron James played the A&R in, where he picked out the beats and helped him put it together, that was a dope project. Very, very dope project.
He makes good albums. I will say that for 2 Chainz. I'm not a fan either, but he does make good albums. Like,
to me, that first one was dope. That first 2, with the one with I'm Riding Around, that was good. The one with that, I think it had I'm Different, that shit on it. That was the first one, right?
I think so. Yeah,
that was good. That was good. But you know, and listen, I don't want the 2 Chainz fans to come mad. Yo, I said some shit a while back, man. And a couple people hit my DM, was like, what you talking about? Boom, boom, boom. And you know what I did? Block them, because I ain't gonna fucking Yo, man, I had shit to do that day, man. Like I said, I was like, they ain't getting that out of me today, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you though what I'm upset about. I'm upset the Nets was up 2-0. And you know what I'm saying, Milwaukee came back and bang bang. You know what I'm saying? So it's 2. I'm not happy about that, but I understand it, you know what I'm saying, because they was hurt and shit. Big 3 wasn't really 100%. But overall, I think the series could go either way, son. And that's the scary shit about it.
Listen, let me say this. So Again, from Brooklyn, lived in Brooklyn all my life.
You don't like the Nets, right? You don't like the Nets, right?
No, all year long I've been rooting for the Nets. I'm like,
cool.
all right,
I
the
thought
Nets,
you was about to say something. You know
I hope the Nets do it. I mean, I felt like, but here's the thing. When they were up 2-0, I was like, great. Then they lost that one game, and I was like, means nothing. They're gonna win the next one. They're gonna beat these guys in 5. Kyrie, I was watching. Okay, on Sunday, I turned to the game, and I'm looking at the game. A few minutes of it, it's still in the first half. And I'm like, all right, they Nets were losing. I'm like, where's Kyrie? Where's Kyrie?
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed, after they came back from commercial, they showed the clip of him getting hurt, and I'm like, I threw my hands in the air. I was like, all right, well, it was fun while it lasted. Because I feel like, it's like, come on, you let these cats back in the series, and it's like, like, come on. Like, I heard James Harden wants to play, like he's trying to get his hamstring tested because he wants to come out and play.
That's
Kyrie
what I heard too,
is not. Here's my thing. Kyrie, I think, is a really dope human being. The things he stands for, the things the charitable things he's done for the community, the things when he says, like, certain things he says about social issues. But here's the thing. Sorry to any Kyrie fans. I don't think that boy got any heart, man. I'm talking about on the court. Like, on the court. On the court. Look, listen, I love barbershop conversations. I was in the barbershop a couple of years ago, and one of the barbers, he's from Trinidad. They call him Trini. He's a big LeBron fan. And so a customer was like arguing with him about LeBron, saying, LeBron, he needs to hook up with another superstar to win. This was after the Cavs won. Trini was very passionate, and I'll never forget, he was like, Kyrie Irving is not a superstar. I apologize for my Trinidadian accent. That was the best I could come up with. But he kept repeatedly saying it, and I was like, yeah, exactly. Like, Kyrie Irving, I think he's a star. He's a star, but not a superstar. Like, to quote, I remember one of my favorite sports commentators, Colin Cowherd. He's dope.
I like that guy. I like that.
Yeah. Years ago, he said he was talking about Carmelo Anthony when Carmelo was on the Knicks. And he said that Colin Cowherd was like, look, we need to have a conversation about stars. This is my best Colin Cowherd voice. About stars and superstars. Carmelo Anthony, he's a star, not a superstar. That's what he said. And at the time,
I can hear him saying
that. He was right at the time, the way he broke it down. So I will say, in the words of Colin Cowherd, Kyrie Irving is a star, not a superstar. He's a great talent, arguably
he's
best
definitely
ball handler in the NBA right now. But I don't think he's superstar level. I don't think he has it in him to really take it to that next level and step up when he needs to.
You know what? When he was with Cleveland, and remember when they played when he was with Cleveland, him and LeBron, and they played against Golden State in the playoffs. Couple of those games, Kyrie was busting Steph ass, but
he was. I remember. I never forget, like, because my brother, like, my brother Jason at the time, he was a Warriors fan, and I was like, I was so happy when they won that year, and I was really in his face about it. The next week, I was like, Kyrie was busting a man's ass, like, where he was at. Even though Steph, I think, was never 100%, because that was the year he had that injury and he came back just like right before, like right when the playoffs started. I think he was still hurt, but Kyrie was like, you got to give it to Kyrie. He was busting Steph ass in that series.
But not for nothing. Even though I feel like Kyrie was busting Steph ass, I feel like the ref remember they hit that 3P. They played 3 playoffs back to back, right? When they won, when Cleveland won that second one, if you go back and watch games 5 and 6, the refs cheated for them. That was the year Aisha Curry had to delete those tweets because she was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I think was it game 5 and 6? One of those games, that was the one where Steph and Draymond Green had got ejected from the game. I think they fouled out.
Draymond Green was suspended, I remember, for one game or something like that.
Son, mind you, I was going for Cleveland to win, but that was some bullshit.
Well, here's the thing about that. Draymond Green was like, he was like suspended for one game.
Yeah.
But he came back and played 2 games.
Yeah.
In those 2 games, Cleveland still won. So it's like, you can't say, he was suspended, that's why he lost. But what about the 2 games that he did play after the suspension?
But I feel like those 2 games that the refs did cheat. Maybe I gotta go back and watch it. But I was like, nah, something ain't right. It seemed kind of weird. But it seemed kind of weird, really. But I was happy Cleveland won. and I was going for Cleveland that second one, but when they played that third one, and I hate to admit it because I think Golden State is a great team. I think Steph is a great player, but I was going for Golden State because I feel like the refs cheated for Cleveland and they didn't get that second one fair and square. I just felt like I feel like they didn't. And me, like I love basketball, but I like honest basketball. Cause our fathers every fucking Sunday we was either at your house or my crib, and that's what we had to do. You had to watch basketball.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So there's a few games you could go back to the '90s, and they was cheating. They was cheating.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you remember, but there was a referee, and they did like a little TV thing on him on the news. And he admitted to throwing games for money, big playoff games.
Oh yeah, he went to jail and then wrote a book when he came out about it, and he basically said, he owned up to it. The league was not happy about that. Yeah,
they definitely
they were not happy about that.
But my thing is, why didn't the league go back and retract those trophies given to those teams?
I don't know, man. I just feel like because they deny that their whole. I remember their position once the book came out and once he was doing interviews. They say, well, yeah, but he was one referee. So one referee, he may have done what he did, but it didn't affect every other referee. And I'm like,
that's bullshit.
Say what you say. It happened. It was so many years ago. So,
yes.
They can have it. It could be history. But, yeah, I do believe that they're, and not just with him. I believe this. It's in all sports.
Yeah.
At some time. There's always something suspect. When it comes to, referees, they're human beings. So you're going to have to look at human error.
Exactly.
And humans can be easily corrupted. Like
he got
on the table, you never know.
You can't tell me he didn't get a big bag for that. My question is, I want to know how many fucking Knicks games he threw. Because there was quite a few games in the Knicks. Quite a few games in the '90s where the Knicks was supposed to win. Remember when they played? I think they played Houston and John Starks. There was Game 7 and Starks went for that 3-pointer, and he was supposed to. They were supposed to call it a foul, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that?
I remember it was a Game 6 where the Knicks could have won. He hit the shot at the end at the buzzer, but he didn't. I don't remember the circumstances.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So games like that always make me say, and a bunch of Bulls games, because you know what? Like Jordan is the greatest to ever do it, but there was some games where they made favorable calls for Jordan.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't never talk about that. Not to take nothing from. Honestly, to me, a lot of people always like, oh, who's the greatest, who's the GOAT? I feel like if we had to look at it, I think Jordan, not stats. I'm looking at skill. You know what I'm saying? Because who was it that got one more ring than Jordan? Was it Robert Horry or some shit?
Robert Horry, yeah.
Yeah. So not even going on for that, but not going on for stats, but even stats, yeah, but off of skill. I think Kobe was the second best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think LeBron, I'm going to put LeBron third. But I think, to me, I think skill-wise and finesse, after Jordan, Kobe, remember when Kobe signed that, I think, the 3-year extension contract for like $100 million, and the Lakers was getting washed, but he was the oldest dude on the team. He was still dropping like 50, 60, 70 points.
I remember.
Yo, son, Kobe, his team could be down. He would not stop playing. He would still play. LeBron, when his team is down, he ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? He kind of just throwing up whatever, you know what I'm saying? But there are other players to me, skill-wise, that are just as good as LeBron. You got KD, you got cats like Kevin Garnett, that was nice. You know what I'm saying? Melo was nice though. Yo, that first year, when Melo and LeBron came to the NBA, that first season, when they played against each other, Melo was kind of busting LeBron ass. Like LeBron.
Yeah, I loved Melo's game. Like I was like, yo, Melo is super talented. Like I just thought he wasn't the guy. Like he needed someone else, like by his side, like to really kind of elevate him. But I think he is one of the most prolific scorers in the game. Like
absolutely.
Like if you go back to especially those earlier days, dude, he was a beast. He was a beast.
But the thing about LeBron is LeBron. I think LeBron is clutch player. I think if his team is down by 1, down by 2. And it's 10 seconds left, he's the dude to give the ball to. He's gonna deliver.
Yeah, but I do think though Jordan and Kobe were definitely more clutch than him.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. Where the edge always goes to them for me, is where they were always. If I'm gonna if you ask me if I had those 3 guys on my team, and last play of the game, seconds left, who do I give the ball to?
Yes,
it ain't gonna be LeBron. Like it's gonna be either Kobe or Jordan in that scenario.
You know what? Like going back to what you said about Melo needed another player. I I was a big Stoudemire fan, but I didn't like that formula of them trying to mix Carmelo with Stoudemire. It just wasn't there.
Yeah, they just felt like they just threw that together, thinking, "Oh, well, here's
Yeah.
another guy that's a really good player."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that we could get, because the Knicks couldn't get anybody to come to play for the Knicks. So anytime they got anybody that resembled a star player, it was like they got hyped.
Yes.
It was like they got so. I remember, wasn't it recently? I think even like recently, a couple of years ago, because Giannis Antetokounmpo has like two brothers, and I think both of them, or at least one, is in the NBA. One is on the team with him now. But I remember a couple of years ago, one of those brothers was on the Knicks, and I remember
the
Knicks getting hyped. The Knicks got hyped. They tried to hype fans up because they got one of the Antetokounmpo brothers. It's like Giannis was balling already, and then the Knicks tried to get everybody hyped. Trash Knicks tried to get everybody hyped because they signed fucking Daryl Antetokounmpo.
Oh, man.
I'm like, he ain't even on the team no more. I think he plays with Giannis on the team. I don't even hear him mentioned on
That's
the team.
crazy.
But yeah, it's like the things they tried to do over the years with that team where, man, like they are so lucky as an organization to have the fans be as diehard as they are. Like, see how fans, like, the fans didn't turn on them. The fans still came back. They're buying the tickets. They still rooting for the team. They're passionate. So, I mean, most people, their fans would have abandoned them after the shit that they done. But, you know, you got to give it to Knicks fans. You got to admire their spirit.
It's crazy. You have to admire. I think the Knicks have somebody had to put voodoo on the Knicks, though. Yo, son, we couldn't catch a break. Then I also feel like the Knicks have bad timing. I feel like if they would have pulled in Melo when they bought Steph and when they bought Marbury in, I think that would have worked. I got this feeling because Marbury had a lot of momentum and a lot of game in him at the time. But, you know, boom, boom, boom. And he's doing great over in China right now. I think he's doing like exceptionally well.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
But also, back to when they tried to figure out Melo was Stoudemire. And then it didn't work. In the middle of that, that's when he had the Jeremy Lin. And I've been saying this ever since then. For Jeremy Lin to be a nobody and come off the bench and win them 12 games back to back, and then that right there could have worked. And just like my brother said, he said the problem with Lin was he don't think he was in shape. But I mean, that's why you got your off season. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I feel like they said, oh, they didn't have it in the budget to keep Jeremy Lin. Dog, all of those fucking Jeremy Lin jerseys that went on sale within 24 hours, you ain't have it in the budget? Nah, I don't believe that. I believe. See, the thing is, I remember watching them play, and at the end of that 12-game winning streak, I think they played the Heat when DWade was there, and DWade was busting his ass, and I was like, yeah, Devon kind of right. He's not in shape, but he need to get in shape during the off season. Then for them to just let him go. And I think when he went to Houston, I believe,
I think that was the first place he went. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So it's like, fam, I think his game would have stayed better in New York because he would have felt like he had more to prove playing in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always felt like by him leaving, it kind of broke his spirits. But I felt like if they would have adjusted the budget, kept Jeremy Lin, put him in some type of better conditioning during the offseason, I feel like that could have, whether if Melo stayed or, Melo stayed, Stoudemire left, right? If Melo would have stayed and they would have kept Jeremy Lin, they would have rocked out after that. Because I think right after that was like the last season the Knicks went to the playoffs. I think they played Boston right after that. And I think that was the season they had lost like the 4 games back to back, but they were supposed to win those first 2 games. I could be wrong, but I felt like that was one of the worst decisions they ever made, was letting go of Jeremy Lin.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, the fans were behind him. It's not like he was like superstar level to where you had to really pay him that much. I think that franchise got more money than they want to let people know, and I think that was
on Cablevision. They got bread, son.
Yeah, that was very suspect.
The Knicks got bread. Come on, they own cable. They got the Knicks under their belt. Cablevision. They got the Garden. It's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's there. But like I said, so when the Knicks went to the playoffs, I kind of hid my emotions on it. You know what I'm saying? Because the Knicks is like a deadbeat fucking dad. You just don't know if they're gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? And I hate saying that because I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Knicks and Nets fan, but damn, it be hurting, man. It hurts. It really hurts. Like it be letting us down. I remember the rumors. Remember when we all knew LeBron was going to get drafted? Remember the rumors that the Cleveland was looking at him, the Knicks was looking at him, and somebody else was. I think the Nets was looking at him at the time, and they said he had like a talk with the Knicks. He sat down with the Knicks, and it was a rumor he sat down with the Knicks. And the whole time I'm reading this shit, I'm like, damn, he about to kill his career before it started. You know, yeah. And I honestly did not want him to go to the Knicks. I was like, dog, just go to Cleveland. Go to Cleveland. Don't come here because we're gonna fucking corrupt you. You know what I'm saying? It's this honestly, not to take up for players of the Knicks. I feel like the city corrupted a lot of the players. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Because put it like this, right? 5 boroughs, and you got people party from all the way from the 5 boroughs of Long Island and Jersey. You have players from the Knicks partying every night, son, at one point. Like,
true,
you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like how you can't really focus if as soon as you leave the Garden, you got a whole city at your disposal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know what I mean? So between the partying, the fast lifestyle, yeah, but what if LeBron would have went to the Knicks and that happened to him? He wouldn't be where he at right now. He definitely wouldn't be. He probably would have.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you might be right about that.
Yeah, he went. So I'm actually glad. I feel like his career prospered because the first team he did go to was Cleveland. Because if he would have went to the Knicks, he'd have probably had like 2 Dominican strippers pregnant in Queens the first season. You know what I'm saying? We know Queens is lit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if I'm a basketball player for the Knicks, I'm getting it. You know what I mean? But let me ask you. Before I end the show, let me ask you a question, right? What albums you fucking with so far in 2021?
I definitely it's a short list. Like, to be honest, the J. Cole album, I'm still listening to that. That's my favorite project of his since Forest Hills Drive. Production on it is top notch. Mm-hmm. So I'm still listening to that. And recently, somebody, just even a couple of days ago, I got put on to this cat from the Bay Area, Larry June.
Never heard of him, but I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, you definitely check this dude out. This dude, I mean, I'm listening to the album, like I'm still going through it. Like I think it's like 13 songs. I'm still going through it. Like it's a vibe. Like I think, the West Coast sound is a fucking necessity.
It is. And I've been, you know why I like the West Coast sound? Because if you go to the West Coast and you've been through the whole state, the West Coast is pretty much split musically in 2 parts. You got the LA side, the SoCal side, where for years it was more on the gangster side. Then you got the northern side past the Bay Area where they had the hyphy shit and shit. Like it sounds totally different, yo. Totally different. And I feel like with the South rising in hip hop, I feel like hip hop is fronted on the West Coast commercially. You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with that because I think West Coast hip hop is the shit, son.
Yeah, I was just thinking that earlier. I don't like the fact that, I mean, I don't really listen to radio nowadays anymore, but I don't feel like, you got the radio stations in New York will play, they will play the Atlanta artists. They'll play the artists from all the southern states and all that, and the artists from up here. But where's the love for the West Coast? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where's the West Coast sound? You know, like Kendrick is one thing, but it ain't just Kendrick out there doing his thing. Like, there's so many other cats out there that are just so dope. Like, West Coast music. Like, okay, I don't drive, but I imagine, like, I'll listen to, like, this cat, Larry June, and even back in the days when you had Ice Cube doing his thing, and Snoop in his prime, you could just close your eye. Like, I could just close my eyes, put on those songs, and just picture myself in a Cadillac with the top down, driving through Cali. It's just a vibe. Like, it's just, I could be in the worst fucking mood and put on some West Coast shit. Like, it's just a cool vibe. It's like a soundtrack for a day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's just a day where you driving, it's like that could be a soundtrack. You know what I mean? It's a necessity.
Yo, it's crazy because I was just in Cali recently, and I go on Apple Music, and I'm like, oh shit, Snoop dropped a new album. Snoop dropped a project called, I think it was From the Streets to the Suites. The shit is hard. The whole from beginning to end, from the lyrics, the production. He got features on.
Snoop still got it.
Yeah, he definitely.
Snoop has not lost
the
step. He has not lost the step at all.
He got a feature with Spice One on that shit. That's official. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, and so like you said, there's not too many albums you're fucking with in 2021. I got only a few I'm fucking with in 2021. And the funny thing about finding good hip hop albums nowadays, I think it's hard. I think it's really hard to find good hip hop music nowadays because I feel like, and not the shit on Apple Music, not the shit on excuse me, none of the apps and none of the streaming platforms, but I feel like these companies, that sign these corny ass rappers, they've cracked the code on how to push that music to the forefront. And you know what I'm saying? And I feel like they're generating so much money off of it because at the end of the day, hip hop is a business. But there are quite a few albums I'm fucking with. I'm definitely fucking with the J. Cole. I'm fucking with the Benny the Butcher album. I think the plugs. I think part 2. Plugs. Part 2. That's a dope album. Yeah, that shit. The Conway the Machine La Machina album. That's a hard album too. You know what I'm saying? So to me, albums like that, I feel like it kind of preserves the essence of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because
those Griselda dudes is hot. They dope. But for me, a lot of it, I gotta play catch up with them. They put out way too many projects. And honestly,
during the pandemic,
that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it's like they every week or every other week, I feel like I heard, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, or Conway. Like, I'm like, damn, like these dudes, like those dudes put in work. Like, I'll say that. Like, I definitely respect the work ethic.
Yeah. Last year, when the pandemic began, and they was putting out album after album, I appreciate that shit. I ain't gonna front. I was like, yes, like at least I got some shit I could listen to during this weird ass time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it was a lot back to back. But what I can honestly say about it, at least it was good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It wasn't like some, it wasn't none of that shit. It wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that. You know, no disrespect to nobody, because I know people are gonna listen to it. Oh, he a hater, he an older head. No, it's not about being a hater. It's me. I tell people all the time, I got a short attention span when it comes to certain shit, right? So you see how, if me and you was in the same room and we were recording this podcast, say if I was a fan, right? And I was like, I fuck with the Life of Produk podcast. I would not watch the video. I would rather listen to the audio, because I don't like just sitting and watching shit. I like to move around and do what I got to do while I'm an audio type of person. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I got a short attention span. So when I hear some shit I really don't like, it kind of makes my ears cringe. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I feel like I just like short my lifespan, or I just like you put it like this, right? To me, hip hop is like food. Good hip hop is like food. So if I'm not gonna get out here and eat plates full of pork, why am I gonna sit and listen to like shit like that all day? You know what I'm saying? If that make any sense. Let me ask you a question. You fucking with the Khaled album?
Yeah, that was another one. That's like one that I still go back to that one.
Yes.
Like, this one much improved over the last project he put out.
Absolutely.
That's like I re-listened to a lot of the joints. I think her and the Migos, even like that track is dope.
That actually surprised me, because I'm a big her fan. I'm not a Migos hater, but I'm not a Migos fan. You know what I'm saying? I am not a Migos fan, but I fucks with her. I think her is on like.
You don't like that?
I don't like it.
That's not your vibe?
Definitely not. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not, man. It's oh man, I'll give my thoughts on that one. You know what I'm saying? But I think she's on like 2 songs on that Khaled album.
I think so too. I think the other one might be a song with Bryson Tiller.
And they got Meek Mill on it as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's like her. I think her, Meek, and Bryson. I like that song.
Yeah. I would love to hear her and DJ Khaled collab again on something. You know what I'm saying? Because I think for him to, put this project together and place her on those songs, I think that's fucking dope. I see a chemistry there. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I see with him also is, because I mean, you can attest to this. Years ago, not the biggest Khaled fan, but I think he's one of these cats that's gonna get better as he gets older.
I think so too.
Because I think this album, to me, it's better put together. Because so many over the years, I had to listen to people constantly say, "Oh, he's great at putting people together." I don't think, if you really look back at some of those, like, I'll give an example on the last album. The last album, I forget the name of it. It had a song with Post Malone and Travis Scott. Now, at the time that album came out, those were 2 of the biggest cats in the game. Mm-hmm. That track was just very skippable. Like, you don't remember.
I got to go back and listen to it, but I'm going to take your word on it.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't put those 2 together and have it not be something stellar or something at least really good. And it was just very forgettable. So I just feel like I think he got a lot of credit for doing things that maybe weren't his doing necessarily, but more so whatever the artist did with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I do think, like I said, this album to me, it indicates that I think he's going to get better as he gets older. He's going to start. He's going to, definitely.
To go along with what you said, right, about him just putting artists together. You know what song I did not like? I forgot which album it was that he had, but it was a song that had the Migos, Justin Bieber, and Chance the Rap on it.
Yeah, he did a couple back to back. Like I
Yeah.
think there was a few albums. It was like 2 albums ago, I think, the one you're talking about. Because even the last album had another song with those 3 on it. And I will say this: hey, sorry to any Justin Bieber fans listening, but fuck him. I really want black people to stop fucking with that cat.
You know what?
Gonna happen,
and I'm gonna say it.
We're
I
very
don't fuck with him.
welcoming and stubborn people, but
Yes.
I really want him away from us. I really do.
This is
I
why
just
I
want him
fuck
away
with
from
Justin Bieber, right? It's nothing against his music. Musically, he's great. I don't like that video that he had when he was a kid using the N-word.
Yes.
And my thing is, it's still very viewable on YouTube. Now, listen, man. All right, some shit is easy to let go. That shit bothered me a lot. It's like what's crazy? I was in militant mode about 2 weeks ago, and yo, I'm in militant mode. I'm sitting down. I had like about 10 minutes to kill. I don't know why the hell I did this, but I go on YouTube and I pull the video up, and I was like, look at this shit right here, B. Like,
you turned into Dr. Umar.
Yeah, I was, you know what I'm saying? Send that cash out. But my thing is, it was like, yo, son, and I was watching it, right? And I was like, and then to hear the people in the background laughing, it's like, yo, this is not funny, my G. This is really not funny. So, but my thing is, right? And I understand that. I from being in the industry on the independent side, from music to production, podcasting, magazine, I got a strong taste of it, and I kind of understand how it works, right? But say if we was in the room with them and they was like, okay, we want you to interview Justin Bieber for the magazine, boom, 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 and that video had came out at the time. Aren't we allowed to put our manhood first before business when it comes to shit like that?
I feel so.
Yeah, I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't, to me, anytime I watch him on like a video with like the Migos and Khaled, Chance the Rapper, and it's like, yo, how in my thing, and I'm not knocking these dudes for that shit because everybody is different, but I really want to pick their brains apart and say, how did it feel, jumping around in the video with him when he did that? Even though he was a kid when he did it, I get it, but don't you feel a little weird? Because I would have felt weird doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
I don't like the whole defense that, oh, well, he was 15. Here's my problem. If any of these dudes, like if any of the Migos were 15 years old and saw a 15-year-old Justin Bieber, and like they were in the high school hallways, walking down the hallways, and saw a 15-year-old Justin Bieber harmonizing the word nigger,
yep,
they beating the fuck out of him.
Exactly.
So I don't want to hear this 15. He's 15. Like 15 years old is old enough to know.
Thank you.
You shouldn't have been doing that.
Thank you. Yo,
that age is no excuse. I'm sorry.
I agree. Not to make this a white versus black thing, but unfortunately, like white versus black issues exist in communities. You know what I'm saying? So remember when I was 15 and I still don't want to get. Remember when I left and I moved down south? Soon as I got down south, within a month or two of going to school, I got into a fight. I beat up a white kid. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like the white kid was verbally targeting me because I was a new kid in class. I was the black kid. I had fucking braids and shit, but I had to teach son a life lesson. You know what I'm saying? So if 15-year-old me wanting to tolerate that shit from another 15-year-old, isn't the Migos and Justin Bieber? I believe they're all around the same age. You know what I'm saying? So
they might be a little older than him, maybe.
Oh, they might. Okay, so
maybe.
Maybe. So it's kind of like, y'all don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the conversation was off camera. If he ever apologized, if he sat down and spoke with them, maybe he was coached into doing that. But I personally would feel weird. I would feel very weird. And that's just me. And people could take that how they want it. But at the end of the day, we're allowed to feel like that. We put it like this, right? Say if we sat on my podcast and we was using derogatory terms towards white people and shit, my shit might just get pulled down. You know what I'm saying? Or people wouldn't fuck with it. They would go on like a movement, cancel him, bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thing is, it's just mind-boggling, dog. So I was in militant mode the other day. I pulled the video up, wanted to throw my phone. I ain't throwing my phone, but I was like, "This is some bullshit, man. It's high levels of fuckery." And ultimately, we don't know what people say behind closed doors. I'm pretty sure a lot of these people in the music industry talk the most shit about our people behind closed doors. You can't tell me that they don't.
Yeah, I could believe that. I could definitely believe that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they're not going to say that shit to our faces. They're going to say that they're going to keep it very tight-lipped. Nobody's going to be around and boom, boom, boom. But that shit, I'm glad we actually touch that and we see eye to eye. Because I actually had the same conversation with somebody one day, and he's like, "But you can't really get mad at him." Fuck you mean I can't get mad at him? What? I was like, "Yo, are you serious? Like you can't." But nah, maybe I said, why you throwing out all these maybes for this? He was just because he was an early teenager, he was damn near an adult. He knew right from wrong.
It's old enough, exactly. At that age, is old enough to know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And look, put it like this, right? I don't know exactly how old he was. I bet you he knew right when I bet you he knew stealing was wrong. So if you know stealing was wrong, I bet you he probably knew calling a girl a B word was wrong, but you're harmonizing the N word. Like, boy, like, fuck is you doing? Like, yo, man, that's what I be saying. A lot of these dudes, like, they don't really be about that life. They really don't. I think a lot of these dudes that be rapping about certain stuff, the dudes that keep a whole 20 entourage, I don't really think they'd be about that life. I think also, especially in hip hop, I feel like a lot of these dudes be so quick to kill their own and fight another black artist and shit like that. A situation like that, they're quick to give a pass. I don't know why. I think it's crazy to me, but I think if they had a choice, if they were given a choice, I pop off on this other rapper from the next city over, or pop off on Justin Bieber, they're gonna pop off on the next rapper from another city over. I'll put money on that shit. Money.
Yeah. It's a lot of. I mean, a lot of people know it's a lot of phonies out there. Some get exposed, some don't. But it's the game nowadays. It's like these guys are more actors than anything. Which, hey, it's all fine for me for entertainment. I was never a person who needed my rappers. I was raised by hip hop. You know what I mean? I never needed my rappers to live a certain life. I never needed them to live their lyrics. I didn't. I don't care.
Exactly.
It's just my thing is only when it like you could do it all for entertainment like this, but because there's so many who've been successful. Some of the most successful ones never needed to, pretend to be or even actually be street dudes. Look at Kanye West.
Exactly.
Look at Drake. Look at, you know what I mean? Like these cats were just, LL Cool J even back in the earlier era. Like Run DMC. Like, yeah, these men, I'm sure, with maybe the exception of Drake, grew up in the inner cities and around certain elements, but they didn't necessarily have to live it or like fall into it or even pretend to. They just they were who they were. Yeah. So you don't need that. But I feel like now a lot of it is, it's the industry plants, that are created by these labels because the labels see, hey, this is what we got to give the people. We got to create these things, and this is the image we got to put out there to sell records. And it's unfortunate.
I actually appreciate the LL Cool J's and the Kanye West because I feel like there's a lot of false factors and a lot of force feeding to the fans, especially the fans nowadays. So with the whole force feeding factor, it's like they're holding their mouth open, shoving spoons of bullshit down their throat, making them think every rapper got to be a blood, every rapper got to be a crip, every rapper got to be a gangbanger. He got to be a drug dealer. He got to go to the strip club every night, spend $20,000-$30,000. That is not true at all. You could be a rapper that just want to make party music. You know what I'm saying? Look at what was that kid name? I think his name was Kid Ink. Remember when Kid Ink was like out and he was buzzing and he was just dropping hit single club record.
Party records.
Party records. And so at the end of the day, you could be a party record dude. You could be a social conscious dude. You could be a dude that just spit ball. You could be a college graduate that just spit bars and metaphors. I appreciate that shit because at the end of the day, I feel like at a certain point, when you hit a certain level as a hip hop artist, I feel like you should be held responsible for the stuff that you say and the energy that you put out there. You know what I'm saying? You kind of should. Look, you know what I'm saying? If you a lot of them, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not a what is it called? Role model, shit like that." You kind of are. You know what I'm saying? If these kids that look up to you are buying your music, now they don't even need $15.99 for a CD no more. They're going on Spotify for free and stream your shit all fucking day. They're going on YouTube, repost it. They are putting money in your pocket. They put millions in your pocket. You actually are kind of responsible for the energy that you're throwing out there to them. And a lot of them, they might disagree with that. That's just how I feel on it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely agree with you when you say you didn't look at a rapper to, you know what I'm saying, live whatever life and boom, boom, boom. And the dope shit about it, us coming from the era that we come from, we're old enough to understand the difference. Where a lot of these kids now, it's like they're watching WWE every week. It's like they're watching Monday Night Raw every week. So they're like, oh, wait a minute, he ain't really a gangster. He talk proper. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's become. It's become.
Yo, funny shit about that, right? Remember when WWE was called WWF?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Grew up a wrestling fan.
Son.
Like, yeah, definitely.
You can't pay, like, no disrespect to WWE. Them guys really get hurt. They get slammed. They break bones. But you can't pay me to watch it nowadays. You just can't pay me to watch it. I
It's
just can't.
trash now. I tried, like,
Yeah.
even last night. I do every now and then. I'm home Monday nights. I do, because there's a lot of times there's really nothing on, and I will turn to Monday Night Raw and watch, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, what is, like, it's not what it used to be. Like, it's not entertaining anymore. I get more frustrated watching. I'm like, what the like, you know what I'm saying? It does piss me off a bit. It's just not what it used to be.
And there's so much talking on it now. Like these dudes are reading full scripts and monologues and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when the shit was WWF back in the day, my pops took me to the Garden. I forgot what we went to go see, but we stood outside the Garden. All the fans always stand out to see the fucking the wrestlers leave. Son, I remember. I remember.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Okay. So you remember, because I was really pissed off about this shit. So I forgot who. This is when Diesel was a bad guy and Bret Hart, I think, fought him, or Shawn Michaels fought him, or something like that. They might have all fought each other in a three-way fight. I don't know. They drove out. Diesel was driving, and Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart was in the car with him, and they was driving out the Garden all together in the car. And I told my pops, I said, "Yo, why you riding with a bad guy?" He looked at me. He was like, "You know, this shit ain't even real, right?" My pops is standing there holding a Colt 45, like, this shit is fake. And I was like, wait a minute, what? He was like, yo, it's just acting. They really wrestle, but like the talking is acting. He was like, son, we walk into the train station. He's like, you ain't know that? I'm like, son, the whole ride back to Crown Heights. I'm like, yo, this is some bullshit. Like, I'm a little ass kid, and I'm like, yo, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, what? And I'm like, son, after that, I looked at it totally different. Totally different. I could, you know, even though, like I said, I give these guys credit. They bust their ass. But you know what's weird to me? The fact that they started doing like commentary about it. I think Fox Sports, you know how like Fox Sports and ESPN, they'll like interview like players and shit on their shows. I think Fox Sports, I don't know if they're still doing it, but they was doing it. And I watched them one time interviewing Triple H. And they was like, yeah, so when you guys were in the ring, you was fighting. I'm like, yo, they're asking him questions like he didn't know who was gonna win.
Listen, that is dumb to me. Like, they do, I think now it's not Fox Sports now. They have a deal, I think, with ESPN now.
Oh,
and I'm
wow,
like, I'm like, okay, this is like, I remember when I seen it on my TV when they were interviewing. It was one of the big pay-per-views, and one of the guys competing in the pay-per-view, they were interviewing him on First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, and he comes on the screen. I'm like, I'm sitting there by myself in my living room, and I'm looking at the TV, pointing, saying, yelling out loud, "This is dumb. Why are you doing this?
Yes.
Like, this is dumb right here." Like, I don't know what, like, that is just, to me, it's ridiculous. Yeah, and I grew up, like, listen, I don't remember what age I was when I found out it wasn't real, but I never cared. Yeah. Like, into my early 20s, I was watching wrestling still. Like, it was entertaining back then to me. Like, I didn't care. It was a show. It was like, it was a circus. It was a spectacle.
You know what was lit though, son? Fucking ECW. ECW was lit.
Yeah, I remember those nights. Yeah.
But it was dangerous though, because they used to really remember the little short fat dude that used to like, oh my God, and they would like jump all the way from the stands through like 4 tables.
Yeah, I remember.
Couldn't even get up. It was kind of crazy. Maybe it's great they had stopped that, but didn't Vince McMahon buy ECW at one point too?
Yeah, he did. He bought it. Yeah.
That's a powerful dude right there.
Yeah. The dude is like, he's powerful dude.
Fucking WWF and Vince McMahon. WWF was on some shit back in the day, yo. Like they was kind of edgy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they used to have the women do bra and panties matches. Yeah, where you won by basically stripping your opponent down.
I used to love that shit as a kid, though. It was kind of dope. Yo, remember the girl Sunny basically had sex with a tall Tickle Me Elmo? Remember that shit?
Very vaguely.
It was like an oversized, like red Tickle Me Elbow looking doll, and it was like they was basically like smutting her out on the show. Wow. And I used to be like, damn, like this. It was going kind of far, and it had one part where they cut the lights out, and the dude and dolls like, yeah, and they cut it back on, and like basically, I was like, damn, this is kind of like they kind of went far.
They got away with some shit back in the They don't. Yeah. They got away with some shit back then.
They could never get away with that. The way everybody's sensitive now in 2020, they could never, ever get away with that. Because it was kind of, even when, remember on Saturday nights they had them wrestling in fucking Penn Station. Remember those?
Yeah, I do remember.
And I remember the first match they had Triple H. I said Triple H. They had Triple H fighting a dude right next to a homeless dude, and the homeless dude was knocked the fuck out, and I think they fell on him, and he woke up like, "Yo, what's going on?" And you could tell the homeless dude wasn't like an actor that was paid; he was really homeless. You know what I'm saying? And I remember them. I think they got hurt fighting by an escalator, and I'm like, "Yo, son, first of all, they had to pay mad bread to keep that area clear right there, but where the escalator is that takes you outside the Times Square. There's no outside the my 434th Street. There's no way, because it was a Saturday night. Come on, son. Saturday night, like 1,000 people coming through there at one time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So WWF was kind of, they was pushing the narrative. Oh, that and when Vince McMahon called John Cena the N-word and he had a do-rag on.
That was crazy. I didn't remember seeing that live. It wasn't until years later.
Yeah.
The clip had gone. I saw it on YouTube. I'm like, where was I when this happened? Because I was watching during that era, and I was like, where was I when that happened? Remember the thing? Like, still, they brought it up the other day on this documentary when the black dude Booker T was in WCW, and he was cutting a promo backstage, and he had a mic with Mean Gene, and he was like, "Yeah, we want the gold, sucker," and after that, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
Yo, and then he held his hell like, damn, I fucked up.
When he caught himself, it was like his face was just, yo. And then to see Mean Gene, this balding white guy, just sit, so awkward, just go to the like, well, like, it was the funniest shit ever. Like, that clip will never be not funny.
I could just imagine that on Monday morning, he got a call from the People's Department, like, we got a call. But he still had his job after that. You know what I'm saying? So
that was crazy. The funny thing is, I'm surprised stuff like that didn't happen more often with black wrestlers. Like, it's like, you would think, like, black people use that word a lot.
Hell
and when you hyped up doing those promos and you like just going, like, a lot of times they call it like shooting, like you shoot and you just kind of going off the top of the head freestyling and you just really into it. I'm surprised it hasn't happened more often.
Yeah, this shit is crazy, man. Like, WWF was on some fucking. I remember back in the day, fucking Macho Man was him and he had Elizabeth in a fucking domestic violence relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember.
It was like, fam, like it was like, y'all making him out like he a whole abusive husband. Like, this shit is like some next shit. You know what I'm saying? But was it him or somebody else that challenged Hulk Hogan to a real fight? Who was it?
I think it was Macho. They had real life beef at one time, so I want to say it was Macho Man. They did have beef.
Wow, son. I ain't go front, son. We all wanted to be a Hulkamaniac at one point, man.
Yeah. I used to try to do the shirts, like to rip the shirt.
Yo,
do it to save my life. I was like, why is this not working? And
but you know what I did? I actually cut a slit in it one time and ripped the shit just to make it look like I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had an old shirt I wasn't gonna wear no more. So just to feel like I could do it, I did that. You know what I'm saying? But we was all but he was like, I think out of all of the wrestlers back in the day, well, I can't call him the first real big superstar because Andre the Giant was kind of a superstar, son. Like right before Hulk Hogan hit that big superstar status and doing movies, I think Andre the Giant was kind of getting like famous outside of wrestling first, I believe.
Yeah, he was around, and it was just, Hogan kind of came up a little like right after him. But Hogan just took it to a new level. He was real life superhero kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean?
He did. I always wondered if he could really fight in real life.
I wonder that about a lot of these wrestlers. Like, to tell you the truth, you look at them and you see on TV, like, they say their height and weight, and I'm like, but could they really fight?
Yeah.
Like, could you really? So, yeah.
Because I wouldn't put it past some of them that could really fight. But, being from the hood, size don't really matter sometimes.
True.
It kind of don't matter, I think who was the one that went into UFC? Was it Brock Lesnar? I think it was
Brock Lesnar. Yeah, another dude did too, but Brock Lesnar was the more famous one that did.
Yeah, the other dude that went into UFC, he didn't really do too good though.
It was a black guy, Bobby Lashley. Was
no, I'm thinking about a white dude. I think a white dude went and he kind of didn't do that great. But how did the other dude do? Was he?
I don't remember. It wasn't much attention because, matter of fact, he wasn't in UFC. He was in the other MMA promotion.
Oh, like Bellator or some shit?
Something like that. It was another one that was around back then that he went to.
You know what my issue is with just contact fighting now? Right now, the window is open, and we've been seeing a few crossing genres. Okay, we've been crossing boxing with MMA fighters, Mayweather fought a kickboxer, and shit like that. My only issue is when they fight these MMA fighters, they need to like customize the rules of it some kind of way. Because okay, it's like Bruce Lee said, right? Bruce Lee said, "I don't fear the dude that know how to do 1,000 kicks. I fear the dude that knows how to do that practice one kick 1,000 times a day." Right? So you put a MMA fighter in a ring with a boxer, the boxer's gonna wash him.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those MMA, the boxer, his eye coordination and hand coordination and his stamina, the way he breathes is different from an MMA fighter. But I feel like if they're gonna keep crossing these genres, I think they need to like put him in the octagon, or if they want to put him in a ring, that's fine. But they need to let the MMA fighter somewhat fight according to how he fights. Like I don't think if an MMA fighter fight a boxer, I don't think he should be able to use chokeholds or arm bars because it takes years to learn how to get out of that shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think they should let them do slams. I think they should let them do kicks, elbows, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to settle this shit. We need to really see who the fuck is great. I would love for Dana White and somebody like what's the dude that fuck with me, brothers, Bob Aaron or something like that.
I forget it. They used to say it all the time. I forget his name.
Yeah. I would love to see somebody like them come together, or Dana White and like De La Hoya hit UFC people and Golden Boy come together and put together like a 5-fight night with just MMA fighters versus boxers. I would love to see that shit. I would love it. But they gotta let the MMA fighters somewhat fight in their own fucking element. Because it's kind of like it's like what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
You take them out of their element, they're not. Yeah, of course, a boxer and an MMA fighter fight. If they fight in a boxing match, the boxer's going to win. But if they fight in an MMA fight, the MMA fighter's going to win. So there's no real balance. I do appreciate the fact that you at least come close to it. Like with McGregor and Mayweather, you at least came close to just, I mean, you saw two legendary fighters in the ring at the same time versus each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's at least close to it, but, you know, it's still one of those guys was out of his element. Way out of his element.
I feel like McGregor only lasted so long because he was taller than Mayweather. That's the only reason.
Yeah, also it's, you know, Mayweather is not, you know, I remember I kind of like, it wasn't like I didn't get into it with a guy on Twitter, but I had said something to that effect after the recent Mayweather fight, and the guy was like, "Oh, y'all need to stop this narrative because Mayweather been knocking dudes out." And I was like, "You're talking about way early in his career, in his 20s. I'm talking about the last 15 years. Mayweather is not known for knockouts. Mayweather, basically, you go to distance. Basically, he dodges. Look, greatest defensive fighter of all time. You know, he sticks in there, lasts all 12 rounds, and it's like he wins by decision. The only dude I think he knocked out, if you can call it recently, it was in 10 years, or maybe it was about 10 years ago, was Victor Ortiz, and that was the whole issue with it. Was like, you know, I'm not even going to go back to, but he's not a knockout artist. Like, he's not known for knockouts. So, of course, his goal is just going to be, like, his conditioning is top tier. So he's going to last the 12 rounds. He'll give you the 12 rounds.
I don't think physically at a certain point, when he got to that point where he was winning by points and going the distance, I don't think physically he could have did it. Now, I'm not calling him weak, but if you remember all the problems he had the cartilage problems in his hands and shit like that. I don't think he was able to do it. I think he had to like play it safe and not cause long-term damage with his body. And not to make up an excuse for him, but I just don't think that physically he could have did it. I feel like he was kind of playing safe. And I think I always felt like, because remember when he was rocking dudes early in his career, I honestly felt like that took a toll on his hands. And
probably, yeah.
I always felt like that Victor Ortiz fight was serious. Yo, I always felt like because Victor Ortiz was fighting dirty, but we hadn't really seen nobody rush Mayweather like how he was rushing him. I think before Victor Ortiz, one of the best fights somebody gave him was the Zab Judah shit. And yo, I felt like Zab Judah would have beat him if that altercation didn't happen in the ring that time.
You know a lot of people said that. I remember.
Yeah. Well, why I fucks with Zab? A lot of people don't notice when Mayweather was training for the Pacquiao fight. I believe that it was said that him and Zab was sparring together. You know what I'm saying? Which was really smart for him to do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if he was gonna spar with anybody, sparring with Zab was the right fucking way to go. And when he was training for Manny Pacquiao and shit like that. That Pacquiao fight actually happened a little too late.
A bit too late. Yeah,
you know.
Definitely.
But you know what though? I feel like when Manny first called him out, I don't think Mayweather's body was 100% with the whole cartilage shit and shit like that. And then too, with him going through all that legal trouble, I don't think it would have been smart for him to fight Manny back then. That wouldn't have been smart. That to me, it wouldn't have been smart.
For him, no, but I think for boxing fans, it would have been a great fight. Like
it would have.
Yeah.
It definitely would have. You know who I would have loved to see Mayweather fight? I would have loved to see him fight Triple G.
Oh my God, Triple G would have cooked him.
That would have been a crazy.
There's a few guys out there low key that people don't want to say because Mayweather is, he's got the legacy, but there's a few fighters that even when Mayweather still, before he retired, they would have cooked him.
Yeah,
there's a few, and he made sure, and that's my only issue with Mayweather as a fighter is that the way he handpicked his opponents. He knew who to and who not to fight.
Yeah.
And I can't fully respect that. I feel like if you're a fighter and you say you're the best, then fight the best.
Triple G jab is on some next shit, dog.
Triple G is my guy. I haven't seen him fight in a minute, but Triple G is my guy.
Fucking I hate that Mayweather and Canelo fought while Canelo was younger.
Yeah, could you imagine? Even Canelo 3 years after that.
Yes.
That would have been a great fight.
I feel like Canelo learned a lot after that fight with him and Mayweather.
Yeah, look what he went on to accomplish. He went on to become one of the best in the game. Like,
damn right
you know
he
what
did.
I mean?
Canelo's not the dude you want to fuck with me. Really not. And I love the when he fought Triple G, that was like on some next shit, man. It's fucking incredible, man. And right now it's kind of like I feel like boxing has the lane to be reignited. You know what I'm saying? Because now that the Mayweather era is pretty much over, now we kind of have like a lane to see like a lot of more up and coming fighters really become superstars. Like you got Gervonta Davis, you got Ryan Garcia is on some next shit. Now I believe Manny Pacquiao is supposed to be fighting Errol Spencer soon. I don't know if you heard about that.
I think so. Yeah, isn't that this summer? I think. I heard about that. Yeah.
Yo, my only concern about that fight, right? Wasn't Errol Spencer in like a car accident and he was like thrown out the windshield or some shit like that?
I think, I don't even know. I can't remember when it was, but I believe he has like fortunately recovered. And
okay,
I mean, if he's fighting again, I guess he's back in top tier shape.
Facts. Facts. I would have loved to see him take like a warm up fight before Manny Pacquiao because I don't think he's fought ever since then.
That's what I'm thinking. I think this might be his first fight back. It might be.
Yeah. Shit, man. Yo, this honestly. This fight could go either way. Manny Pacquiao, how old is it? Manny Pacquiao is definitely in his 40s, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Fighting a 40-year-old versus fighting a 40-something-year-old Manny Pacquiao is not the same fucking thing.
Yeah, definitely it's not.
Dog, I would not get in a ring with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is like that older uncle you would call when somebody fuck with you, and you already know when he get there. Manny Pacquiao is gonna knock you out and go sing fucking karaoke after that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But Errol Spencer is a good fighter. I like his style because he's very well coordinated when he fights. He's a great coordinated fighter. So I'm actually gonna find a spot because I'm not ordering that shit, but I'm actually gonna go find a spot to go watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of I spend too much money ordering boxing. Too much, and I definitely didn't order the Paul versus Mayweather. I know you ordered it.
I did.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't fucking with it, dog. I was like,
Listen, here's the thing. I respect the fact that Showtime, that Showtime Boxing was the promoter. I respect the fact that they are finally embracing the circus. They're finally, they didn't call it, but they said, I heard the word. I've never in my life heard the word exhibition so many times. They're embracing that it's a show, it's a spectacle, it's not real boxing.
Yeah.
It's just they had Jesus and Mero doing commentary. And look, those are my two dudes. Like those dudes, they did their thing. Like those dudes are hilarious. Love their show. They did their thing. They bodied it. Yeah. So it was cool to see that. All right, we're embracing that. This is all for fun. Yeah.
I feel like Desus and Mero could have been our cousins in another life, but we could have all been talk shit at the barbecue all fucking day. But I did watch when Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones, and I think Snoop Dogg doing commentary was the greatest shit ever.
Oh my God, they should there was a compilation somewhere I saw on like Instagram where it was because Snoop has done commentary for a few sports. They showed all the sports he did. There even was a clip of him doing hockey. And I was like, okay, I would totally watch a hockey game if Snoop was doing commentary. Like Snoop is hilarious. Like, did you see you caught when Jake Paul knocked out Nate Robinson. How
Oh
Snoop,
yeah,
like Snoop started singing the hymns.
Yeah. I saw that. Oh, that was some funny ass shit. Wasn't he clowning Nate because he had on sneakers? I believe.
I forget. I can't even remember. Like it was just so like it was just fun. Like that was a hilarious moment.
Dog. That
Like,
fight kind of pissed me off because I feel like Nate was just like running around the ring like it was a fucking basketball court.
I mean, but that's like what I said. Like at least Jake Paul had trained seriously.
Yeah.
He had had a couple of fights already. He's taking boxing seriously for the time being, at least. Nate Robinson apparently called him out. He asked for the fight. He called him out.
Yeah,
he trained for a little bit of time, whatever it was, and then he got in there and it was what it was. You know what I mean? He was out of his element.
Yo, at least he got a check for that shit. Fuck it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, let me ask you a question. If they came to you and they offer you 20, 30,000, let's say 50,000, they came to you, offer you 50K to get in the ring with one of these YouTubers, you doing it?
With what, the Paul brothers or a different YouTuber?
Let's say the Paul brothers.
I think Jake got hands. Like Jake can fight. I'm not saying he's a great boxer right now.
Yeah.
He could, if he keeps taking it seriously, he could have a good career on his hands as a boxer. But Jake got hands, and I think he's more, at least what I think he's the more muscular and the bigger, like the more brolic of the two.
That's the one that fought Mayweather, right? Because I get them.
No. Jake fought Nate Robinson.
Okay, yeah.
Logan fought Mayweather. If I had to pick between the two, I'd fight Logan. I think Logan is taller, but I'm not the first person to say this, but Mayweather held him up that fight. Like a lot of the fight was a lot of hugging, and Jake and Logan, because of his height, had to keep bending. So I think his back got messed up very early in the fight. So it was like he was constantly leaning on Mayweather. And I think it was a lot of, like, Mayweather basically held him up. Like, even he said, Logan Paul at the end of the fight even acknowledged it. He said, yeah, I hung in with the legendary Mayweather. And then Floyd was right there in the ring next to him. He looked over at Floyd and Floyd was like, or maybe he let me hang in there with him, and like laughed. Yeah, he let him. Like Floyd let that fight go the distance. Floyd could have, and again, like the fans were disappointed because they wanted a knockout, whatever.
He almost knocked him out. Remember, he caught him with that uppercut, and he was about to fall.
And that's what I think. I think if Floyd Mayweather wanted to knock out Logan Paul, he would. I think Floyd just said, "Hey, look, people, this is getting a lot of buys. It's all about the money. I don't have to knock him out. I can make this kid look good and just let him go the distance and whatever." And I think that's just what happened. A lot of people said there may have been people were saying, oh, maybe there was a no knockout clause in the contracts that we didn't see. That's very possible too. But ultimately, it was a choice, I think, that Floyd made to not knock that kid out.
I think maybe Floyd might have money behind him. That's why he didn't knock him out, to let it go the distance, so he could have like a little bit of not star power, but potential for other bigger paying fights in the future.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because that uppercut was kind of serious, B. When he caught him on the side of his left eye and shit. I would have let him fall. That's just me. I was like, all right, you've been talking shit, upload this bomb, take that. But yo, honestly, if they came to me and they was like, all right, 50,000, bomb, I'm gonna demand more, but I'm gonna do it. Fuck it, I'm gonna go get that money. Why not? You know what I'm saying? It's a quick bag. You know what I'm saying? Then it's gonna kind of, if you do great, it's gonna up your ante.
Yeah.
After that, in the whole industry. But I feel like my only issue is with this. There are fighters that have dedicated years and they're just being skipped for like motherfuckers or followers. That's my only issue with it. And to me, I think it's crazy because these guys have put a lot of work in, and they're literally letting these dudes who, troll, and not to talk about the Paul. I think the Paul brothers are geniuses the way they market themselves. They're geniuses, dog. When it comes to trolling and marketing themselves and getting endorsements, and now they get money for fights, I think it's crazy. The other one, he's fighting Tyron Woodley. I don't know when they're fighting though, but I know they're gonna fight definitely.
It's in August. They're fighting.
Okay, so now keep it 100 for a UFC fighter, and I'm not taking nothing away from him because a lot of UFC fighters, they fight martial arts. Tyron Woodley has hands. If you ever watch some of his old fights, he has hands. The size difference is a concern of mine, but he does have hands. So I think it's gonna be a very interesting fight. I think that should have been an MMA fight, not a boxing fight.
Maybe. I think, maybe it could have gone that way.
Yeah.
I do think, when it comes to entertaining, I think Jake is the more mouthy of the two brothers. Like, I was surprised because I didn't know I knew very little about both of these guys, but I knew pretty much nothing about Logan going in. So I'm expecting him to be this over the top, arrogant, cocky, annoying. But he was very the pre-fight interviews. He was very grounded, down to earth, very humble. Even after he seems like a very nice guy. He really. I think they're both probably very nice guys. But I think Jake, maybe because Jake realizes like he's more passionate about this boxing, so he knows what it's going to take to sell fights. So he feels like the antics are going to sell the fights, which I'm not mad at that. I can get because that's my beef. That's always been my beef with Mayweather for the majority of his career. Because I feel like his fights were not entertaining enough. I feel like it was just he could. I mean, at times there were some times where he was being the more entertaining, like he was being the more engaging leading up to the fights. But then his opponent would just be stoic and just sit there like you got to give him something back to really sell it. And that's why people were just like, we know who's going to win this because it's like the opponents weren't really giving off any energy going into the fight.
I agree. I think Mayweather is one of the greatest to ever do it, and I'm a Mayweather fan, but I can honestly say I don't want to see Duke Henry no more. I can't do it no more.
He doesn't. I don't need to.
Yeah, like for me, it ain't gonna. You know what I'm saying? After the McGregor fight, I was like, what I would like to see, I would like to see McGregor fight like another younger fighter, a younger boxer his age, and really like, you know what I'm saying? I do think McGregor has potential as a boxer, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he does. And I don't like the rapid punches he was doing when he was hitting Mayweather. You could tell he boxed early on in his career, but you could tell it was early on in his career and shit like that. But I think if he would have fought like a younger boxer his height, his age, his height, whenever they fought, I think that depending on who it was, they might have washed McGregor early. Because to me, like with him, with the rapid punches he was hitting Mayweather with the holding and shit like that, I felt like that MMA itch was coming out of him a little bit. Like he just wanted to grapple him at one point during a couple points during the fight. You know what I'm saying? So it is a good thing he didn't, because the fight went the distance, he probably would have been disqualified and shit like that. But I want to see him get back in a boxing ring with a fighter his age and his height with the same reach and really see what he could do. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight one of them Paul brothers, to be honest.
I would like to see that shit.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I would like the one that fought Nate Robinson. What's his name again?
That's Jake.
I would like to see him and Jake fight.
That would, to me, I think that would be entertaining.
Yeah, you could tell Jake has a little bit of eye coordination, because that knockout punch that he knocked out Nate Robinson with, when he dodged that shit and caught him with the hand like to the head, that was some serious shit right there, and it had power to it. So I would like to see that, and he's around the same size as McGregor. You know what I'm saying? So I do think McGregor will like take it for granted and probably slip up at a certain point during that fight. I do think he would. I do think, because you know what it is, nobody's taking him serious.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's really taking him serious. And because when they first started fighting, they fought those two YouTube brothers from London. I think it was KSI and the other one and shit like that. So we didn't really, and now they're doing like the YouTubers versus TikTokers fights. Nobody's really, even if some of these dudes really can fight, I don't feel like nobody's gonna take the rest of them serious. I feel like the only ones that's gonna be taken serious within the near future are the Paul brothers, because they're like the only ones that have really shown improvement. Even though KSI and his brother, I think one of them beat the other one or something like that, they did pretty decent when they fought. To be amateurs, they did decent. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of these guys, and not to shit on these guys, I don't even know their fucking names. You know what I'm saying? I can walk past them in the street. I don't know who they are. Not to shit on them, but I don't. Who are these guys? So nobody's really, and I don't think anybody's gonna take them serious and shit like that. It would have to be something like big for them to be taken serious and shit like that. But I guess this is the new wave. It's like it's another way to get that back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is where it's the evolution of reality TV, where anybody can be famous, kind of thing. It's just
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm afraid to say sign me up for the next wave, but I gotta see how it play out first. But yo, let me go ahead and end the show, man. It's the Life of Produk podcast, man. This is episode 30. Episode 30 with the cousin Damien. Two cousins. We out. Talk to me. Yeah.